Good day, everyone. Today we'll be discussing Explore the Network in Data Communications and Networking. Our topics for today will be network definition, network terminologies, three types of communications between hosts, network sizes, key components of any data network, types of network, the internet, and lastly, we have internet access terminologies. So let us first define what is a network. So a network is consist of two or more computers that are linked in order to share resources such as printers and CDs, exchange files, or allow electronic communications. So basically, do not limit yourself or do not limit your thinking when you talk about networks to computers that are interconnected. Okay, networks includes cell phones or a tablet, maybe a desktop computer, a laptop that is connected over the network. Okay, sharing resources like printers, files, CDs, CD-ROMs in this case, okay, and many more. The computer on a network may be linked through cable, telephone lines, radio waves, satellites, or infrared light beams. So, in order for a computer to have, or different computers to have a network, they need to use these different resources like cables, telephone lines, radio waves, satellites, etc., etc. So, this enables the computer to communicate with each other. Now, let's go to network terminologies. So first we have the hub. Okay, a hub is a device that allows multiple computers to communicate with each other over a network. You can see an example of a hub on the far left side, the color blue one, okay, of a hub. Okay, so this allows the computers to communicate with each other using a UTP cable, okay, that is plugged to the hub, okay, and the other end of the UTP cable is connected to the computer. Now, there are certain um, uh, what do you call this? There are certain uh, reasons why we do not use hub anymore. One is because you can only connect uh, small or sorry, a limited number of computers over the network. Another reason why we do not use hub is that it only allows communication between two computers, one at a time, not unlike what we are using today in our networks. Okay, so number two, we have the host. Okay, a host is a computer that is accessible over a network. It can be a client server or any other type of computer. Each host has a unique identifier called a host name. So you may know this as an IP address. Okay, this is like our fingerprint, which is unique. Okay, a host name that allows other computers to access it. Okay, on the example below or in the illustration below, the one in the middle is an example of a host. So as you can see, these are two computers that are connected to each other to communicate. Third, we have the network interface card, or we pronounce this or we call this sometimes as NIC, or sometimes you also call this in layman's term as the LAN card. Okay, a NIC or a LAN card or a network interface card is a component that provides networking capabilities for a computer. So without the network interface card, communications between two computers will not be possible. Okay, sometimes a network interface card is a wireless network interface card. Okay, so this is an example of a plugged network interface card. Our third term is the switches or the switch. Okay, the switch. An example of a switch is on the far left side, the black one. Okay, a switch is used to network multiple computers together. Switches made for the consumer market are typically small, flat boxes with 4 to 8 Ethernet ports. So if you haven't seen an actual picture or an actual switch, it's like your DVD player, the size of your DVD player. Okay, it has different ports where you connect your UTP cables. Okay, so example here are the 8 and the 4 Ethernet ports, which means you can connect either 4 or 8 computers on a network. Okay, next we have the client. So a client or is every computer that is connected to a network and access the server. I'll explain this later on. Number 6, we have the server is a computer that provides data to other computers. Okay, so let us look at the illustration on the right side. As you can see, we have the clients here. We have the laptop, we have a desktop, and we have a cell phone. Okay, the three computers are connected over the internet. Okay, and then we have the server. Okay, so the clients are the ones who ask for a data through the internet. And then the server provides the information needed, okay, or being asked by the clients. Okay, so that is the client and the server. Number 7, we have the peer-to-peer or P2P network. The peers are computer system which are connected to each other via the internet. Files can be shared directly between systems on the network without need for a central server. In other words, each computer on a P2P network becomes a file server as well as a client. Okay, so interchangeably. So we have here different computers. In this case, let's say, for example, a desktop. Okay, so in a peer-to-peer, okay, any computers that are in the peer-to-peer network can be a client and a server at the same time. So they can provide data or they can even ask for data. So, and as you can see, all the computers can connect to each other. Okay? So that is peer-to-peer. Next, we have the intranet and the extranet. Okay, so the intranet is a private network that can only be accessed by authorized users. So who has an intranet? So most or the big corporations or big companies sometimes has a or sometimes have an intranet. This is like a website, okay, or a network wherein only computers that are connected within an organization can communicate with each other. So when you go outside and access an intranet, it will not be possible since intranet connects only computers within an organization. Next, we have the extranet. Okay, an extranet combines both internet and an intranet. It extends an intranet or internal network to other users over the internet. So as been this as defined, okay, it is a combination of internet and intranet. So the intranet can also be accessed using an internet. Okay, so this means that even if your computer is on the outside the building or outside the organization, you can still access the internet since it is connected over the internet. Next, we have the three types of communications between hosts. Okay, so you already know the meaning of a host. Okay, so the first one, we have the unicast. A unicast communication from one host to another host. So the illustration is shown below. So as you can see, a host can communicate with only one host at a time. Okay. Next, we have the broadcast. Okay. Broadcast is a communication from one host to all the hosts in the network. Okay. So as you can see, we have one host here and then we have four computers which can also connect to the host. Next, we have the multicast. Communication from one host to few hosts only. So, not unlike a broadcast wherein everybody can connect, okay, the multicast can only connect to a few. So, let's say, for example, a two-way radio, sorry, a radio, which has a frequency. So, when you tune into the right frequency, you can communicate with the host or the one who is talking over the radio. Okay? So if you do not have the right frequency, you will not receive any data from your host, from the host. Next, we go to the sizes of a network. Okay, so we have four sizes of a network. The first one is the small home networks. Connects a few computers to each other and the internet. So the small home networks can be an example of this can be uh, your network in your home. Okay, so if you have an ISP or an internet service provider and you have a Wi-Fi inside your house, that is an example of a small home network. Next, we have the small office home office. Enables computer within a home or remote office to connect to a corporate network. Now, in these times of pandemic, some of the BPO, okay, like the call centers, okay, some of their employees work at home. Now, they use a network, okay, that can access their intranet, okay, wherein they can see all the needed information for their job, okay. So since they are working from home and using an internet and accessing an intranet, okay, in this from their office or from their home, okay, that is an example of a small office or home office networks. Next, we have a medium to large networks. Many locations with hundreds of thousands of interconnected computers. So, an example of this is an organization or a building size networks wherein multiple departments from a company is connected over a network using also an internet, okay, to access outside the networks. Okay, and number four, lastly, we have the worldwide networks. Okay, most of us uses this. Okay, or let's say for example, if a corporation has different locations or can be found in different locations in all over the country. That is an example of our worldwide networks. So we define worldwide networks that connects hundreds of millions of computers worldwide, such as the internet. So also, we are not limited to a single organization that has multiple branches all over the country, but also all the computers that are connected over the network falls under the worldwide networks. Now, let's go to the network components. So when you say network components, this is what we need in order for us to have a computer network. So without or if we miss one of these components, computer networks will not be possible. Okay, first we have the end devices. An end devices or an end device is where a message originates from or where it is received. Data originates with an end device, flows through the network, and arrives at the end device. So an example of an end device are the laptops, computers, or iPhone, IP phones, etc. So the one you're using, okay, right now is an example of an end device. Okay. Next, we have the intermediary network devices. An intermediary device interconnects the devices. So an example of this are the switches, wireless access points, routers, and firewalls. So I think you already know this. Okay, so this is what we use. This is what we use in order to connect over the internet. So if you're using a PLDT, ISP, or a Globe, or a Converge, or whatever, or a Sky Cable, Okay, that is an example of an intermediary network devices because they uses router in order for you to connect over the network wireless or sometimes connected. If your laptop or your if your laptop or your desktop computer uses a wire to connect over the network and it is connected on your router. Okay, next we have the network media. So the network media communicates across a network, is carried through a medium which allows a message to travel from source to destination. So we are talking about, when we say network media, we're talking of how you connect over the internet, okay, or what type of connection you are using to connect over the network, okay. It can be a DSL, a fiber, okay, so those are our options right now, or your mobile network, okay. So that is an example of a network media, okay. Next, we have the types of network. So we have two types of network in this case, the LAN and the WAN. Okay, so what LAN stands for local area network. Okay, so LAN is like an intranet. Okay, think of it as an intranet. Okay, a LAN, this is a term used to describe a network covering a limited geographic area such as a floor, building, or a campus. Okay, so a LAN is a computer networks or computers that are connected within an organization, okay, or in your house, for example. Okay, so LAN usually has a high data transfer rate. So the reason why there is a high data transfer rate is because only limited computers are connected over the network. Next, we have the Ethernet standard is the most commonly used technology for or in LANs. So Ethernet, when you say Ethernet, okay, it can be you are using a switch or a router, okay, in order to connect to the internet. Okay, next we have the Ethernet is so common that it is almost synonymous with LAN today. So when you say when it comes to LAN, automatically we make use of uh, a router instead of a switch because we can connect over the network wirelessly. Okay, not unless if you will be using switches, you need to have cables, network cables. Otherwise, it won't be possible. Okay, next, we have the wide area networks or the WAN. Wide area network. This is a term used to describe a network covering a large geographic area such as a multiple cities, a country, or even across the world. Okay, so the WAN is the opposite of LAN. Okay, so within an organization for LAN, unlike for WAN, okay, basically this is worldwide. You can connect your computers, okay, around the world. Okay, they are used to connect LANs across the area they cover. A typical example would be the LANs at various offices of a company connected by WAN. So that is an example, or that is what you call a WAN. So a LAN connected to a network to communicate with other networks or other LANs around the world, okay, that is an example of a WAN. So as you can see in the illustration, that is how a WAN looks like. Next, we have the internet. We are already familiar with internet. We use the internet almost every day. We have experience using internet like what we are doing right now. Since you are accessing this video or you have seen this video over the network, you are connected on the internet. The internet is a worldwide collection of interconnected or local area networks and wide area networks. LAN are connected to each other using WANs. So if you have 3 LANs, okay, in order for you to communicate with the other 2 local area network, you make use of a WAN or you make use of an internet. So that makes, since the 3 local area networks has connection, okay, that is already an example of a WAN. Okay, WAN are then connected to each other using copper wires fiber optic cables, and wireless transmissions. So these are the hardwares that we use, okay, in order for you to communicate: the copper wires, the fiber cables, and the wireless transmission. So as you can see on the example illustration below, okay, we have different local area networks, and all of them are connected over the internet. So that makes it a WAN. So internet access technologies. So there are many ways to connect users and organizations to the internet. Okay, so the first one, we have the first category, we have the home users, teleworkers, and small offices. You are included on number one since you are at home and you are using a router to communicate or to connect, okay, over the internet. So you fall under this. So we have different examples on how you connect over the network. If you are a home user, a teleworkers, or a small office, so you have your internet service provider, ISP. Okay, we have the broadband cable. We have the broadband digital subscriber line. I will explain this later on. We have the wireless or the WANs, okay, and the mobile services. Okay, now if you are using or if you are a business, okay, these are the type of technologies that you use. You have the service providers or the SPs, the business DSL. So this is different from a home DSL. Okay, we have the lease lines and we have the Metro Ethernet. So what is the difference between these technologies? Okay, the difference between these technologies is the how you connect or how the speed of the internet. Number one, that is number one. Okay, so you have a bigger download speed and upload speeds for business class technologies compared to home users technologies. Okay, you can connect a more or a broad number of computers, okay, over the network. Okay, if you are compared to home users, which is limited, sometimes only 6 up to 10, or the least maybe 15 to 20 computers can be connected only on the home users or in the technologies for home users or teleworkers. Okay, unlike for business class, you can connect multiple thousands, hundreds, maybe millions of computers connected over the network using the technologies mentioned below. So here are the explanations or the definitions for each technologies. Okay, so common internet connection options for home and small offices. So make use of cable, a high bandwidth, always on internet connection offered by cable television service providers. Okay, like for example, the one being used by a cable company here. Okay, next we have the DSL, the high bandwidth, always on internet connection that runs over a telephone line. Okay, cellular uses a cell phone network to connect to the internet, only available where you can get a cellular signal, of course. Okay, next we have the satellite, major benefits of rural areas without internet service providers. So for the satellite, they make use of a satellite dish in order for you to connect over on a network. Okay. Next, we have the dial-up phone. Okay. An inexpensive, low bandwidth option using a modem. So, basically, number 5, the dial-up is already extinct. We don't use this type of connection or option anymore because it is a dial-up. Okay. So, mostly, we are using DSLs, okay, cellular for mobile, or sometimes cable. Okay. Next, we go to the second option. So the common internet connection options for business, we have the dedicated lease lines, Metro Ethernet, ADSL, and satellite. Okay, so a dedicated lease lines, this is a faster network. This is a fast network because it is dedicated to a specific network. Okay, think of it like having your own highway, okay, for you to travel from point A to point B. So you are the only one who are using that road, okay, in order for you to arrive from point A to point B. That is your dedicated list lines. Okay, so list meaning you pay for a particular amount or an amount, okay, for using that road. Okay, next we have the Metro Ethernet. So the Metro Ethernet is typically available for a provider to the consumer premises over a dedicated copper or fiber connection providing bandwidth speeds of 10 Mbps to 10 Gbps or gigabits per second. Ethernet over copper, EOC, is more economical than fiber optic. Ethernet service in many cases is quite widely available and reaches speeds up to 40 Mbps. So this is a faster, okay, type of network connection. Next, we have the ADSL. It's designed to deliver bandwidth at different rates downstreams than upstreams. Okay, so some of the companies also uses this. Okay, and lastly, we have the satellite. Satellite service can provide a connection when a wired solution is not available. So if you are in a remote area and you are a business and you need a faster and you needed a wider computers networks network computer networks, you can use the satellite connection. Okay, so satellite dishes require a clear line of sight to the satellite. So if there are any obstructions, there will be a problem with your signal, okay, for this satellite connection. So that's it. So if you have any questions, kindly comment your questions below and I'll be answering it. And thank you.